Everything's completely normal this week. I can't think of anything that's been out of the ordinary. Our party's doing absolutely wonderful. The left is taking things in stride. You know, the schools are teaching awesome stuff, and Biden's just been on point. I've been so excited.
Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Okay, maybe it's been a little bit weird. I don't know. Okay, so the real video is just about as weird as what you just saw. So we want you guys to see it real quick, just because you got to see how this sounded to anybody that's paying attention, okay? Pull this thing up, Tina.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans are MAGA Republicans.
Pause. Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
You're wrong. First off, which is smart. They're attempting to basically divide their opponent, you know?
Yes.
Or whatever. The problem is he's wrong. The majority of Republicans were MAGA Republicans. Mm-hmm. By the time in 2016 and especially by 2020, it was the majority of Republicans were like, okay, let's go for it.
Right.
We got to go for it because we
obviously like he was their favorite.
Yeah, he wasn't my favorite. Even MAGA people don't think Trump was our favorite.
No.
The philosophy is what was important, which was make America great again. Make the country work like it's supposed to freaking work so that it doesn't have issues anymore. And so that we can all be in a boat of a successful country that is working towards bettering itself and also holding other countries accountable for doing wrong to their people, which is basically the only goal. When Americans think about America, we think we want us to stay out of other people's crap. But if they're like torturing people like the Uyghur Muslims in China,
right?
We should probably say something about that. But that's the extent of it. Not, we found weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East. We got to go for 30 years to figure out. And then, oh, by the way, my brother or my vice president's family gets all the construction deals after we freaking nuke everything over there. You know, that's what happened, which is why Trump is always like talking to the Bushes and going, where were the weapons of mass destruction, Jeb? You know, and making like, so anyway.
It's true. No, it's true.
Yeah. So
they're not those Republicans is what we're basically saying. They're normal Americans that we want America first. If it's via Trump, even though he's not everyone's favorite person, we just both said wasn't our first pick. But if it
Ben
gets
Carson
the
was
job,
my first pick.
Who?
Ben Carson.
Oh yeah. No, he's fantastic. He's brilliant.
Well, I'm black, you know, so
I could see it.
Had to go with my color.
But I mean, normal Americans, we just want America first. And that's what Trump not only said, proved.
What a strange thing to say, that 75 million Americans pose a threat to the democracy. Is that the unification that we're supposed to have seen?
I was about to
Biden?
say,
Because homeboy promised unification. We're all going to be unified. Don't worry, everybody. And then homeboy comes in and calls 75 million, which I believe is probably more like 90
I think
million.
it's more. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
probably more like 90 million people. I'm not allowed to say that, but I'm saying
allegedly.
It anyway.
We're not saying for sure. This is our opinion. There you go.
But then I want to show you his press secretary saying the same thing. Okay, his press secretary, because he backtracks on this later and acts like that's not what he just said for some reason. But go to his press secretary, which is like 2 things away instead of just one.
I got it.
Pull this up, Mike.
Threat to our democracy. The president has been clear as he can be on that particular piece when we talk about our democracy, when we talk about our freedoms.
Every time she talks,
the way that he seizes the Republicans are the most.
Every time she talks, I know that she doesn't know what the hell she's talking about, and that she saw like the Cliff Notes version of it, and so she just repeats like you were talking about earlier. She'll just be like, like you said, what did you say? The eating strawberries thing?
Yeah. So somebody, a newscaster asked
has
her,
the president been eating strawberries?
So listen, you're asking me this question. It's a great question about strawberries. So there's strawberries, and then there's the White House. The strawberries were in the White House, and the White House knew that the strawberries were there. They were eaten, but I mean,
and they've been eating strawberries for a long time, and everybody knows that and approves of that.
Right.
And so it's just like, okay, now, so did the president eat the strawberries, bitch? You know what I'm saying? Just like, get back to the damn question.
You keep asking me that question, Ross, and I mean, I know it's a great question.
I'm not going to answer that.
The strawberries are fantastic.
I'm not going to answer that from this position.
We're taking care of the strawberries. We're taking care of the president. Everything is fine.
But okay, let's just let her talk about the fact that he said this dumb shit. And then I want to hear what she has to say. You can bring this up again, Mike.
There is an extremist threat to our democracy. The president has been clear as he can be on that particular piece when we talk about a democracy, when we talk about our freedoms. The way that he sees is the Republicans are the most energized part of the Republican Party. This is an extreme threat to our democracy, to our freedom, to our rights. The president thinks that there is an extremist threat to our democracy.
First off, she didn't even say MAGA. She just said Republicans. Okay?
Who? But okay, yeah, you go first. Sorry, that just pisses me off.
The fact of the matter is this: the reason that MAGA people were pissed is because y'all are so shitty at doing things that benefit us. It's so clear that the government is so shitty at doing things that benefit us.
Well, many are seeing now.
Yeah, many are seeing now. How's your gas prices?
My issue with this is, did you hear that part? Taking away our rights. Who? Whose rights? And what rights?
Yeah, I think they're only talking about abortion.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
That's the only one they're talking about.
That's the only one they have, yeah.
But that's not, you don't have a right to kill another person. If it's not a person, then you're right. They took away your rights. But since it's a person, all we're doing is instituting the law that already exists everywhere else, which says do not murder other people. And we're going, yeah, including them little ones that can't talk for themselves. Okay.
Right.
So I don't consider that to be the same thing. They're like, how dare you try to control a woman's body? And like, dude, all this makes sense but only if you're not talking about killing another person, because you can't act like you care about freedom of people and their rights and then destroy people and kill them and go, well, they don't have any rights, you know, so you can't.
Mostly black people too.
Yeah. It's
mostly black people.
Mostly black folks. They like killing black folks, man.
Do you know
Democrats
how
just been doing it for a long time.
Do you know how I know too that the Democratic Party, the deep leftists, and celebrity Hollywood are in cahoots together? Do you know how I am now 100% certain of this? Is that, did you hear that line that she said, taking away our rights? Do you know of a young lady named Lizzo? She's a little popular. You may have heard of her.
The one that just gave that speech?
Yes, and said the exact same thing.
Wearing like a $10,000 dress.
That looked like a garbage bag. Yeah, I saw that.
And she was, not in great shape. She's not going to be around in her 70s. We can say that.
If that's what she wants to do, that's her own prerogative. Yeah, but I'm not going to call it beautiful. I'm not going to call it healthy. I'm not going to call it any of those things. But if you would like to, all the best to you. I would prefer you be healthy, but all the best to you. But she says that they're taking away our rights. Vote for your favorite artist and vote for the change you want to see, or vote for your politicians because they're taking away our rights. Now, press secretary just said that, right? What rights? And again, the exact same line. That's how I know that they're like probably emailing each other every day.
Yeah, little text messages. Make sure you mention this little nugget. That'll help us manipulate the population even better.
They're on what's AOL Instant Messenger. That's what they're doing to each other every day. Hey, bestie, what's up? Should we talk about racism?
Pull up show order real quick and pull up the last link. This is Lizzo, everybody. Okay, this is a woman who's complaining about being oppressed. She won an award, by the way, and I'm not gonna lie, her song is really catchy.
Good songs. No,
that song is catchy. It's good, Lizzo. You're great at music, but shut up after that.
All right, so here it is. Critics mock Lizzo for claiming to be oppressed while accepting awards at VMAs.
Yeah, it's been a hard road. And she lifts a trophy that none of us will ever see over her head and makes $1 million off of her records that none of us will ever make off of doing something that little. Yeah, it's just interesting, man.
She says, so I don't know what music video for good means, but I do know what your vote means, Lizzo said while on stage at the Prudential Center, New Jersey. And that's your vote means, everything to me. It means everything to making a change in this country. So remember, when you're voting for your favorite artists, vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us. What?
Yeah. So
anyway, with
Lizzo not oppressed, acting like she's oppressed. I don't know how we got on the subject,
and
but
now,
whatever.
well, because the press, I was saying that it was connected because the press secretary, Democratic Party, and Hollywood, that was the exact same line. And then I didn't even catch that part. See, I remembered it wrong. I said, so remember, when you're voting for your favorite artists, vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us. What do you mean artists? What about politicians? What is she talking about?
Click play on that.
Do you want to play
Might
it?
as well play it just so Homeboy can have a little click of it.
I don't know what music video for good means, but I do know what your vote means. And that's a lot. Your vote means everything to me. It means everything to making a change in this country.
Is she out of breath?
So remember, when you're voting for your favorite artist, vote to change some of these laws that are oppressing us.
God,
She's
what
out of
an
breath.
entitled, what an entitled person. You're on a stage getting an award and you've made millions of dollars, and yet you are saying laws are oppressing you. If you're talking about abortion, imagine how the child who gets murdered feels. Yeah, this is definitely oppression. Please don't chop me up. Oh, there goes one of my legs. Ah, there goes my arm.
Well, they're still trying to go with the one that asking for voter ID is racist.
Right.
And they did it in Georgia, but Georgia had record turnout. So I don't think it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Bring up Peter Ducey real quick.
Mr. President, do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat to the country?
Let's not make that case. I don't consider any Trump supporter to be a threat to the country. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Yeah, so there you go. And then did we already show his press secretary? We did. Okay,
We did. And he said that probably, if I'm looking at our notes correctly, twice, right? In the past week. Said that twice. I find it very funny that today he walked that back. Did you see that? You know why? Because it backfired. Just like the Mar-a-Lago raid. Are we even allowed to talk about that? Allegedly,
Sure.
Whatever, YouTube, allegedly, it didn't happen. I don't know. But that went badly because even Democrats like Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard came out against that and said, whoa, hey, that's crossing a line. It did poorly. They thought it was going to do good because they thought if we have a raid on Trump's place, it's going to make him look like a criminal. And everyone at the table said, yeah, guys, it's going to be fantastic, right? Yeah, it's going to work. And it didn't. So what did they do? They walked it back. They had to come up with they stayed silent, but Trump was like, release the affidavit. They scrambled and did something. So we'll be transparent, and then redacted the whole damn thing.
Yeah, so you couldn't see any of it.
So it did nothing. They were trying to be transparent, but they weren't. And they knew it was BS. Now they are saying this. They're saying MAGA, bad, right? And they said at the round table, this is a great idea. Yeah, it's a great idea. We're going to say MAGAs are extremists. And it backfired again. So now he's doing what is it called?
Damage
control. Thank you. Now he's doing damage control by saying, "Oh no, I don't think you guys are extremists. No, screw you, because you said twice in just 1 week alone, not including all the other times you said it before. 1 week alone, you said it 2 times during a speech, which he finally stopped hiding and said we were extremists.
Like crazy lighting in the background and military people in the background. Like, this is the weirdest setup, dog. Like, bro, you can't say shit like that. And then they're prepping. Now they're deciding, MAGA people might be mad. Yeah. You think?
Or even
you just call
regular
all of us a threat to the democracy. Bro, what democracy? We voted against the Green New Deal, and you guys are rolling that bastard in like nonstop.
I know. Little bit.
Did you see what he said about the F-15s thing, though? About like they act like AR-15s are like, your weapons of war, and you guys are dangerous and you shouldn't have these. And then a week later, you can't do anything with an AR-15. Let's listen to this joker. saying more dumb shit.
Right now, you can't go out and buy an automatic weapon. You can't go out and buy a cannon. And for those brave right-wing Americans who say it's all about keeping America's independent and safe, if you want to fight against the country, you need an F-15. You need something a little more than a gun. No, I'm not joking. Think about this. Think about the rationale we use that's used to provide this and who they shooting at.
Tell me, did the Taliban have F-15s?
Now they do.
They do now. They do now. They didn't start with them, that's for sure.
Nope.
So let's not get on the subject of how many Americans just got their life canned over in freaking Afghanistan because of your terrible leadership. Let them put you in charge. If there was ever a civil war, in the comments, guys, tell me which side you'd want to be on if you were just a fish and you could pick a side without having to care about what their motives were. But I tell you one thing, you guys can have all the bombs you want. I'll take the Americans who actually are interested in keeping freedom with only AR-15s. We'll be good.
The fact that you even have to say that, Ross, is my problem. How fucking dare you say, even vaguely threaten, even it's a joke, and he even said, it's not a joke, folks. Threaten the American people with F-15s and nukes. I think he says nukes at some point. F-15s, what are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Nobody said anything close to this when cities were burning in 2020. Washington, D.C. is one of those cities that were burning in 2020. Okay, and we know which side did that. Nobody said anything remotely close to F-15s and nuking. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I think he meant like if there was like if we were to actually fight the government.
We should not even be. He should not even be saying
stuff like that. That's not the unifier in chief that he promised to be.
Exactly.
You know, but he's saying tons of dumb shit. It's consistent. But I want you guys to see some of the dumb shit that he said, and then we're going to call him stupid for it because you deserve to know how stupid the speech actually was, meaning factually incorrect. He talks about AR-15s.
Oh, the bullet. He says a bullet.
Yeah, click that link or click that tweet. So it gets big on the screen.
There we go.
The bullet out of an AR-15 travels 5 times as rapidly as the bullet shot out of any other gun and can pierce Kevlar. Okay, this is not even true at all. Like, not true at all. So just scroll down because she gives how that's not true. She explains that, like, multiple other different. Just scroll down.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. An intern could have fact-checked this with a basic Google search. There are dozens of readily available charts for this.
Yep, Chuck's whatever. Click that blue link that says Chuck's Guns or Chuck's Hawks Guns or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's a 223. That's how fast it goes. And just look around. Just look around. 22 250s faster. 22 250 Remington with a 60 SPs faster. 220 Swift is faster. Like, he's just wrong. 243 is faster. Yeah. So anyway, he was wrong entirely. There's literally dozens of rounds, probably hundreds of rounds that are faster.
And they use this for they use it for spectacular talking points. Like,
lies.
Right. But doesn't it seem so? Oh,
these are ripping bodies apart left and right.
It makes.
Do you know the most common round that kills people in the United States, Tina? A 22.
22, like the little one?
Mm-hmm. 22 round is the most commonly used rifle round or round in the United States to kill people, and is the most commonly used in gang violence and stuff like that because it's so cheap and so easy or whatever. Number one. What's interesting about 22 rounds is when they go into you, they kind of bounce around. They like
that's what I did read. Something
they go
like
boom
that.
And they kind of go different places.
So we have
Yeah, they voted against the Green New Deal, and look what we've got going on in California.
Well, no. We collectively, remember, the Green New Deal was a whole set of bills and this whole plan, and we voted it down. It got kicked out, and the Democrats said, fine, we're going to shove it down your throat one bill at a time. Well, we have California.
California banned gas-powered cars. Here's everything you need to know. 2035, you can't sell them anymore in that state is basically what's happening. And then shortly after they decided to do that, what came next? Their request. Please, Californians, don't charge your vehicles. Why? The power grid can't handle it. Wonderful. This is very similar to basically telling everybody, hey, your seatbelts are made out of dangerous stuff. Take them off. And then they're like, what's the solution? They're like, well, this thread that we've got, use this thread as seatbelts instead. And like, does this work? They're like, not all at once. You're like, well, you told us to get rid of our seatbelts.
Yeah.
This isn't safe. How are we going to continue life as we know it at all?
You all
You're
shouldn't
not.
have done that. I'm like, you told us to. Yeah, that's what they said. They said, get rid of all your seatbelts to save the earth. And you said, some people begrudgingly, that fine. And you're like, whoa. Why are you going so fast?
Why are you using this thread so much?
Yeah, they said, why are you
You
going
gave
so
it to us in lieu of the seatbelt you made us not use. What's the problem? We didn't think about this before we told you to do it. Sorry. Yeah, we thought that's what was happening. You leading us into a dark, dead hole where we all just die. And so that's why I'd like to keep my gas-powered lawnmower, please.
Right. Think about it. They already have rolling blackouts. And yeah, it says it right here. Just days after the state announced a plan to ban sales of new gas-powered cars by 2035. Are you serious?
Yeah, wonderful.
But it makes sense because Californians are constantly complaining about rolling blackouts. So that kind of makes sense. Why would you even think of making this plan without having a proper grid?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they are planning to build a proper grid. And look, at the end of the day, I don't want them having control of anything, period.
True.
I also read recently to build one of Tesla's vehicles, lithium batteries.
Oh, do you want to?
It takes 60,000. It would be the same as if a BMW drove 60,000 miles in a gas-powered car.
For real?
Yep.
Wow. Let's show that video.
Which one?
Auto. We didn't put it in the show order.
What is it?
The auto from that you've had him on Speak Truth Without Fear before.
Oh yeah, bring it up. And then we can end in a second. It's all good.
California advises slower EV charging as state's electric grid struggles. Now here's the kicker. Just last week on the 25th of August, Gavin Newsom came out and declared California's deployment plan for the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Program. Well, now they changed their tune. The California Independent System Operator asked residents to also curb their thermostats to 78 degrees.
And then we're hearing now reports about utilities sending letters to people saying to be judicious about their electricity use. And one of the things they say is don't charge your car unless you really have to. So how does that jive with a state that's pushing this like sort of EV edict pretty far, right? Banning gas-powered cars by 2035, but you can't even have the grid.
Now, let me remind you, the argument is that it's all for climate change, right? This is a lithium leach field. It's so neurotoxic that if a bird lands on it, it dies immediately. Imagine what it does to your nervous system. Saving the environment one toxic pool at a time. No, this is not lines of Coke. That's a tractor. Look, I'm just connecting dots. I personally fell to that Tesla trap back then, so I get it. But I do hope you see what's going on here. The more dependent you are on their centralized systems, the easier it is to control you.
That's literally what you just said. He does a little joke there. But
yeah, I
didn't know about lithium pools until today. I had no idea. I did know, let me clarify. I did know lithium getting rid of it was very toxic. I didn't realize that's how they did it. And that really is a slap in the face to all these people that got EVs and they're doing this change and it's really upending their lives financially and everything, and they're trying to do the right thing, and it turns out that it might not be so because your electrical car is being charged by a coal plant that is still pushing out coal and all these bad things that you want, like in Pennsylvania when Chevrolet did the EV reveal, and it turns out the coal plant is the one that provides 98% of the energy.
95, yes.
95, sorry, excuse me. And then also the fact that you're going to have to get a new battery in that bad boy. That means that huge battery and the lithium in it needs to go somewhere, and it looks like, I mean, in a garbage mound or whatever, like, birds don't die just landing on it. He's saying they die just landing on it. I had no idea. So to sit there and say, this is better for the environment, it is proving very quickly to be maybe just as, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, or it's similar. But look at this. Hang on, I got to show you this. This doesn't have to do with lithium, but I figured I'd show it anyway. I just wanted to show you how good we are at unifying so far, everybody.
Oh, yeah, this goes back to unification.
Would you say relations between white and black people are very good, somewhat good, or somewhat bad, or very bad? These are green line is white people, blue line is black people. Look at the numbers. 2007 to 2013, pretty much plateaued, all the same. And then drastic drops right before Trump came into office of everybody going, BLM, 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 BLM. And now it's the worst that it's been in 20 years, guys. Interesting. Congratulations, Unification Party. You guys are doing great. Unifying us all to a hellhole. Do we want to talk about anything else while we're just bullshitting for another 5 minutes and then be done?
She-Hulk. I've been telling
She-Hulk,
Ross, I've been...
She-Hulk and the Rings of Power. I haven't seen the Rings of Power yet because I'm holding my own.
So we're going to hold off on that.
Because I don't want to... Because, look, I'm a huge Tolkien fan. I've read Silmarillion multiple times.
See,
I can explain what Numenor is. I can explain...
Well, we're going to have a
what
whole
Morgoth is. I can explain who Melkor is. I know behind the scenes, you bastards.
Well, he doesn't want to talk about the Lord of the Rings. No, it's not Lord of the Rings. Remember,
it's the Rings of Power.
The Rings of Power, very different. So we can't talk about that yet because he hasn't seen it yet. But are you going to break your heart to at least give our viewers a breakdown? Are you going to break your own heart and just... He doesn't want to watch it because he doesn't want his heart to be broken.
I'll watch it. I'll watch one app just so I can become embittered.
So we got to... we have to...
Because at first, the bullshit people, the elites, watched it and gave it a 96 review.
Yep.
And then the lesser than elites critics got to watch it, and they were like 30...
86. Well, no, it dropped to 86. And then as audience scores started coming in, it started off at like, I want to say 78. Is it
IMDb already?
No,
IMDb.
No, Rotten Tomatoes.
Rings of Power.
Rotten Tomatoes is the scores I'm talking about. I don't know if IMDb has it yet because it's not up yet.
6.1.
Oh.
It's got a 6.1. 74 user reviews.
Oh my gosh. 6.1. Wow. 10 out of 10. You know those are
so much better than I expected.
Wow.
Don't listen to the review bombs.
So yeah, I mean, people, we have to be honest that there are also positive review bombers as well as negative review bombers. So it's both. But let's do She-Hulk.
I started watching. Did you ever watch Dexter?
Yeah, not the new one.
So me and my wife watched the first episode of the new one.
And
there's gay dudes. He's dating a Native American, of course. They're picketing or protesting for climate change, and they're mad at a billionaire for climate change.
Just like Jurassic World.
Yep, Jurassic World. All of it.
Climate
everything
change.
Is trash. Everything is propaganda. Everything is trash. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were you about to say? She-Hulk.
So we're gonna hold him accountable. In the comments, tell Ross, watch I keep wanting to say Lord of the Rings. Watch The Rings of Power, episode 1 at the very least. You're going to have to go in. I'm sorry, but tell him in the comments, watch it, dude. We need to know. We need to know as a someone who's read the literature.
Yeah.
So we need to know. Anyway, She-Hulk, though. She-Hulk. You can tell it was written by a group of women leaning towards the feminist ideology. You can tell. And to me, it's insulting to a woman. Like, forget the male audience. No offense, fellas, but I'm gonna tell you where I feel as a woman when I watch it. It's insulting to me because there is no character development. A good story has character development. I can't relate to this person in this series because she's just perfect at everything. Her best friend tells her she's amazing. She's better at being Hulk than Bruce Banner himself, who went through years of turmoil. No, she's just amazing. I can't relate to that. I'm messed up. I go through struggles. I'm sad. I can get happy. I've gone through things. I'm failed.
Inconsistent at stuff.
Right.
Not She-Hulk. She's the peak lawyer.
No, she's
amazing. The peak
amazing.
Strength. She's the peak at self-control. The whole 9 yards.
I
Does
can't
she have
relate.
a man?
No, not yet.
Well, that's the
She's
truth.
probably not. It's going to be like a
I don't need no man. I
don't
bang them when I want to, and then I go back to my independence and my
I think
cat
there is.
and have no legacy and no children. And if I do have children, they all hate me.
Right. Or
Mom, I noticed that you were writing a stupid feminist blog when you should have been holding me and crying with me when I was heartbroken about something. Well, you ought to get over it. Oh, so you're not so nurturing. You failed as a
no,
mother.
she's gonna, because she's white. Recognize your privilege, baby.
Right.
Right.
Is she white?
I don't know, honestly.
She's green.
She's green, but it's not relatable at all. No character arc, no struggles, no nothing. I don't relate to that. She's just amazing at everything. Not only that, she's insufferable. As a woman, I would not want to be around her. She's whiny. She whines the whole time. Bruce Banner is trying to help her. She whines the whole time. She's very know-it-all-ish. And it just shows her and the CGI. Don't get me started. Have you seen the commercials? The CGI.
Nope. I honestly, I've been so depressed about, I've been watching with my kids?
What?
1940s Looney Tunes.
Is that what was on?
Yep.
He is, for real. Because I was like,
I'm watching it because
Yes.
it's like, this is funny shit. Oh, he tried to get the girl and she ran away from him, and now she's out on the streets and sad and trying to sell flowers, and then he takes her back, and it's a funny thing. And then, there's so many funny, like, true things in old school Looney Tunes that it just makes you laugh still. And you're like, oh, the pig can't catch the duck, and if he does, he falls over. It just at least makes me laugh still. And anyway, yeah, so that's what we're watching in my house. That, Little House on the Prairie, Stairway to Heaven.
Nice.
A bunch of other dumb shows from Michael Landon.
That's just, but the reason why I said we need to talk about She-Hulk today. The only reason, because the other stuff that I was very passionate about, I still wasn't planning on talking about She-Hulk today. The third episode had her twerking. A lawyer twerking. And that's
do you
supposed
twerk,
to be
Tina?
Well, no, not in front of people. Like, no, like.
See?
I can't. That's just it. I don't know. I'm not going to do it in my office as a professional lawyer who is now a superhero and who I'm being put up on a pedestal. And as
I've
an
seen my
example,
wife twerk once or twice. We were both schnockered, and probably at our wedding was one of them. And so it's like there's certain settings where like twerking makes sense, but like.
In an office, and it shows, and then the CGI'd She-Hulk is twerking with Megan Thee Stallion. I was wondering why too. The media was covering for because the Tory Lanez case, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. That supposedly he shot her. It's very doubt. It's, in the feet. I don't know. We don't know what happened. Look it up after. I'm pretty sure people in the comments probably know about the Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez, but her story was falling apart and the media was still running cover. And people were saying, hey, media, why aren't you telling the truth? Her story's falling apart. It makes sense now because she's been working with Disney. Disney was like, no, we can't have her had a bad name. This show needs to win. Megan Thee Stallion's been in now like 2 of the episodes. She was like
She-Hulk?
Yes, she was like introduced in the second episode or something.
I miss old school Queen Latifah. Okay?
Oh yeah.
At least she was normal.
Yep. Pretty badass too.
Guys,
yeah.
I don't have a lot more to say tonight. It was an exhausting week. We've been through a lot. God bless you all. Continue in the faith and don't get weighed down by the terrible culture that's trying to exist. We'll see you next week. It'll be more entertaining, but I hope you enjoyed this. Biden's an asshole.